Good evening. This is a little piece from Swami Rama that ought to be fun. It's called a whole, not an H-O-L-E, a W-H-O-L-E, a whole with two parts. That should be exciting, huh? Here we go. Those on the path of yoga are often mistaken as being in the same class as followers of various religions, churches, sects, and cults, whose believers, parentheses, though not the ancient founders, are incapable of scientifically demonstrating the truth of their beliefs. Now, today, much endeavor is put into holding a dialogue between science and religion. And now, this was some time ago. Now that dialogue is mostly argumentative, it seems. In the ancient text, it is said that there can be two kinds of dialogues between experts. One is called Sandhya Sambhasha, a dialogue between friendly seekers who are trying to arrive at a single truth by matching and joining two opposite pieces of a complete picture. The second is called Vigriya Sambhaska, sorry about my pronunciation, a discussion between rivals, each asserting that his own piece is the complete picture, or that half of the picture held by, or that the half of the picture held by the other is somehow inferior and subservient. That's what we mostly have today, it appears. We read in the Bhagavad Gita that human intelligence operates on three levels. On the lowest level, it sees a part of something and considers that to be the complete whole. On the second level, it gathers many parts and tries to create a complete whole by joining them together. At the highest level, it sees the complete whole first and thereby comprehends all its parts. This last is the purest level of intelligence. So the yoga tradition views spirituality and science to be two parts of a complete whole. The future of mankind will be secure when the antagonistic views held by dogmatic scientists and dogmatic religious leaders are finally wedded together, not as though two opposites were declaring a truce, but as though two hands were obeying the commands of a single brain. Both science and spirituality are primarily experiences within the principle of intelligence. As I have already said, when intelligence inquires into its own nature, it becomes spirituality. Here we are not talking of intellectual curiosity or philosophical speculation, because this is entirely guesswork. Thousands of philosophers have created hundreds of encyclopedic works based on such speculation without any inner experience. They cannot agree among themselves, and they create confusion and conflict among their readers and followers. Their language primarily relates to external realities and cannot convey the experience of the oceanic vastness of that dimension of intelligence that the founders of spirituality have experienced. The founders of true spirituality agree on the nature of their inner experience, but the mere speculative philosophers continue to disagree, parentheses, unless in rare cases like Socrates and Kant, speculation gives way to allow transcendental silence to flow through. The same applies to the speculative theologian who ventures elaborate and complicated guesswork as to the true meaning of the words spoken by the founders of the traditions. quite often such guesswork has been falsely given the name of contemplation, not realizing that true contemplation is, once again, a silent experience. Neither the philosopher nor the theologian has any business pretending to proclaim a truth without first coming face to face with the deeper nature of intelligence, where consciousness goes far beyond the triangle of space, time, and causation. I wish to reassert that science, too, is an expression of a spiritual intelligence, but in relationship to the external universe. In the Upanishads, we are told that the transcendent Shukla Brahman is pure intelligence. Prajnanam, wait a minute, I'm going to read that again. In the Upanishads, we are told that the transcendent Shukla Brahman is pure intelligence, Prajnanam, but that God seen as immanent, but that God seen as immanent in the universe. Shabala is also a reality, the principle of intelligence projected into the universe. To paraphrase Einstein, science studies the manner in which the transcendental intelligence manages the immanent intelligence, how God beyond runs the sacred universe here and now. Thus we find that some of the basic laws taught by both scientists and spiritual teachers are common to all sciences. Without understanding these cosmic laws, we would fail to perceive the true relationship between the two facets of reality. For example, take Newton's third law of motion. For every motion in one direction, there is an equal motion in the opposite direction. On the spiritual path, this becomes the law of karma. For every action in one direction, there is a reaction in the opposite direction. The wording is different, but the principle is the same. For by applying our understanding of Newton's principle, we steer our boats or pilot our jet planes. Through an understanding of the karmic principle, we know that what we do to others is actually a seed being sown in our own minds in the form of subtle impressions, which will ripen later for us to reap. We need to emphasize that the principles of science are applications of spiritual truths, for the universe is an emanation of the divine intelligence. Indeed, every scientific thought occurs within the human mind, which is activated by a spark of the divine intelligence. Pretty good food for contemplation, isn't it? So thank you for visiting. Thank you for listening. Chew on that a little bit. Spirit, spirituality, and science. We can look at that in a way that they work together, or we can look at it in a way that they're enemies. And the choice is ours, it seems. We can play with it as we wish. So thank you for visiting. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy chewing on this a little bit. And please have a wonderful, wonderful next meditation. And remember, Om leads us there. It's all about Om. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Bye-bye.